Installing the Adventure Pro today on a new 2020 RSpec. Should go in the same as the 19s. There's a couple little changes. I don't know if this is different. Put in the positive boot on the battery. There's actually a cut in it now. I think we used to have to cut that ourselves to add an accessory wire, but looks like it's in there now. Get used to taking this firewall off. There's a lot of accessory plugs and points of access back there. Your SSV stereo installs back there. There's 10 millimeters down here and 4 millimeter hexes across the top. You don't have to take these outside ones off. Just take those 10s out and then you give it a little yank and it pulls off. Now, when you do, just be careful. Your turtle key here for speed management, it plugs in right here. So pop this plug out and then you can set the firewall aside. Install is real simple. It's going to use this port here. We've done a bunch of these, so it's a pretty standard install. It's going to use that port right there to get the communication from the computer. You'll see here you have a bunch of accessory plugs. This is what I love about the X2 and X4s. I'm a big wiring guy, and you can actually, these are the plugs that you need already. You just pop these out and put your terminals in there, and you have a weatherproof connection for running a light bar and anything like that. Number one question I get about where are we putting the main power unit for the Adventure Pro, the power converter, whatever it's called. On the YXZ, it has a real easy spot. You pop the center hood off, it's right there. It's real noticeable. On this one, and this is the unit I'm talking about here, on the X2s and the X4s, it doesn't really tell you. The instructions aren't clear on it. If you look here to the passenger side fender, and run it up into the firewall here, see if we can get this to zoom in. You'll see there's a hole here, and you see right there, that's where it mounts. Like I said, the instructions are real unclear on it, but that's where this goes in. They do supply two 10 millimeter bolts, and we're going to throw that in right now. When you do your wiring to your main unit here, this runs over to the plug that we were already talking about, and it comes up with a 4-pin, another 4-pin, and then a 2-pin. So it's going to install just like this. At the end of the day, you want to have your main power unit with your 4-pin hanging out of it, your main wire harness that comes from a GPS connector with your 4-pin hanging out of it. So this is a rental machine, so we're going to actually install the Adventure Pro just a little bit different than the instructions tell you to do it. The instructions want you to open up in here and put your USB, I believe they want it through here. We're actually going to put it out here just for ease of use for the customer. Maybe I'll put it down here just so that they can plug in a little bit easier than opening up the glove box. But right here is where the main wire for the Adventure Pro is going to go through. You drill a 1-inch bit, or a 1-inch hole here, and it's an 1.1/8 hole for the USB. So for that, I'm just going to use a step bit. It's real easy. Let's hope we don't mess this up. So the hole's drilled. I was going to install the USB here, but for future use, that's where the heater vent comes out. I don't really know what we have planned for this machine, or maybe a future owner of it even. I don't really want to take and put the USB in a location that somebody else is going to use. So I'm actually going to run this hole just a little bit bigger, and mount the USB right here, and then I'll go right through just above it for the grommet for the Adventure Pro. So here it is installed. Got the RAM mount on. I ran the wire just above the USB. Like I said, I wanted to keep this bottom area open for a heater. The book actually tells you to run this USB inside your glove box, which makes a lot of sense. For your personal machine, you keep your cell phone or whatever out of the elements. For being a rental machine, I want it accessible. If you put something in a glove box, a customer might not see it, so I like it out here just so that they can see it and use it. And it is a weatherproof cap on it, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, the biggest thing that I find online is people installing their Adventure Pros say, I got it all installed, but it won't turn on. My USB port isn't charging. What happens is the Adventure Pro cable needs to plug into the main wiring harness here. And then the USB needs to plug into that brain that we installed over here. That's a power converter. It gives you the 5 volts or whatever that you need to run a USB. They are the same plug, so it's real easy to get it mixed up. I don't know that it does any damage if you mix it around. Your Adventure Pro just won't turn on and charge. So that's the big issue. Remember to subscribe and join us at yammerhammers.com.